Hey, all you cool cats and kittens, it's Shane here, and today on Shane's Movie Reviews, we are going to be breaking down the potential cast of a future Tiger King movie. Tiger King is taking over Netflix, it's taken over the world, so we figured why not let it take over Shane's Movie Reviews channel. Of course, I am joined by my lovely co-host Chloe today.
Hey guys.
And we are going to, again, be talking about a potential cast that you could see in a future Tiger King's film. Now, obviously, we have to start with what could this movie be about? Chloe, how do you see a Tiger King movie playing out? Do you see it like the documentary, something different?
Well, since I feel like there was already a documentary out, people would want something different. I feel like in the documentary they had to explain a lot of things because obviously not their entire story was documented. So I think seeing like almost like a fantasy part fictional movie about them, like about the Tiger King people being played by famous actors and actresses would be like the ideal situation. Hopefully a comedy.
That's a good point. I'm gonna agree with you there. I think it should be a comedy movie. I mean, the way that everyone is portrayed, everyone seems like they belong in a comedy skit themselves. It seems like an 8 hour long thing you'd find on Saturday Night Live. But of course it's not. It was all real events. I don't think that, again, like you said, they would do a documentary route since they already did that. There's a lot of information there to cram into one thing. It'd be too much to try to pace a movie around, but I definitely think a comedy is their best choice. Moving on to what you clicked on this video for, and that is the potential cast for the Tiger King. We're going to be going through 8 different characters that we could see celebrities playing if they were to be cast in the movie. Chloe, let's start with Jeff Lowe. Who do you have playing him?
All right, Jeff Lowe. I settled on Robert Downey Jr. because I felt like he's kind of rugged and he would be able to play that part. I don't know. What
Okay,
about you?
that's a fair point. I said Woody Harrelson. Maybe he appears again in this video for someone else. But I just think, his role, I always thought of Zombieland when I think of Woody Harrelson. He has the rough and tough kind of thing that you said about Robert Downey Jr., but he would just seem like he would be the one causing trouble, and that's kind of what Jeff Lowe did towards the end of the Tiger King documentary series. I think he'd be an interesting fit there, almost a perfect fit to portray that character. All right, next up, we are going to have John Rank, or manager of the zoo for Joe Exotic. Who do you have playing?
So, right. So John was kind of a character. So I put somebody else down earlier, but tonight, right now, I've settled on Adam Sandler.
Really?
You don't look like a fan of that choice.
I don't know. When I think of Adam Sandler, I think more of if he's in the movie, he's starring in the movie, and
Okay.
John is not the star of the movie. I feel like Adam Sandler taking a backseat to a lot of the other actors wouldn't really work. He probably wouldn't agree to that, and I just don't see like John does have like kind of an integral role in running the zoo, but like he's like Adam Sandler's like an out there character, an out there personality that I don't think would fit that.
That's fair. Okay. Yeah, let's see who you picked. I'm curious.
Well, more laid back type, more person
Okay.
that kind of sits on the side. I went with John said he would like Matthew McConaughey to play him, and I thought that was perfect. Matthew McConaughey starred in The Gentleman earlier this year, and he was awesome. I loved him in that movie. I just think that that personality of someone who's chill, kind of, watching things from the sidelines and always adding a quick one-liner or two in there would be perfect for the role of John. All right, moving on, we have director for the Joe Exotic TV show, Rick Kirkham. Who do you have playing him?
All right. So I picked William H. Macy, who is from Shameless. He plays the dad. And I feel like he looks a lot like Rick. And he also kind of has that like rugged and like type attitude where he'll get things done, like no matter how they have to get done.
That's a good
He'll
one.
do what's necessary.
I like that one. I like that one. I could definitely see that working. They definitely look similar, so if they were going for something like that, I think that would work. I have Billy Bob Thornton. Don't have too much to say on him. I know in the episode again today, how I mentioned before with John, Rick mentioned that if someone were to play him in the movie, he would want Billy Bob Thornton to do so. I said, why not? They looked very similar too. I think he'd probably play a similar demeanor. Again, more out of the way. Obviously, as we get more into it, you'll see more personality bursting through, and I think that's going to be the focal point of the movie if it were to be a comedy or something of that sort. Moving on now, we have John Finlay, who was one of Joe Exotic's partners in the movie. Who do you have playing him?
I picked James Franco because James Franco is a funny young guy, and I feel like that's who you need to play John Finley.
I actually like that kind of better than mine. I'm sticking to a similar track there. I think we're both thinking this is the end. A lot of those actors in this movie definitely could play a role in this one with their wacky, outlandish comedic schemes. I said Danny McBride doesn't really look like Finley, but I feel like he could make the character work. He could throw out some of those one-liners. He could be like that funny. I don't think this movie would need comedic relief. I think the whole movie would be comedic relief, but he would always pack that punch. I think he would be perfect for the role. Either way, I don't think they would make a mistake there in the direction that they chose. Next up, we're going to have Howard Baskin. Who do you see playing him?
I picked Steve Martin because he was a very fatherly, mellow figure, and I kind of feel like that's how Howard was in Tiger King.
Fatherly figure, huh? Who's he a
Yeah, he
father to?
seemed
The Tigers?
I don't know. He was like the most chill person, I feel like, out of this entire documentary. So I feel like you kind of need like a chill older man to play him. So I picked
Oh, I
Steve
think
Martin.
he's low-key psycho too. I think if especially if you're going the direction of a comedy, I think you need to have him be like the kind of like quirky, weird, quiet one, but also can make a joke, which is why I'm going Fred Armisen. If you know Saturday Night Live, that's where he's from. I just feel like he'd be perfect for the role. I can just like see him playing Howard. I think it works out perfectly. Moving on, who do you see playing Doc Antle? Now we're getting into the big three here.
Oh yes, I picked Russell Brand. Now he might be a little bit young, but Doc Antle's crazy, and so is Russell Brand. So I feel like he would be a great choice to play him.
I'm gonna go a different route. I see kind of the pattern that you're going. You're going for more like you said, craziness with the movie. While I'm going more of like this is a comedy. This is a flat out
Okay.
like this is you're going here to fully laugh, and that's why I
Yeah.
picked Will Ferrell to be Doc Ansel. If you've seen the movie Zoolander, you know that Will Ferrell can already pull off that long white goatee that Doc Ansel has, the kind of the ponytail, white hair look. I think he'd be perfect. I can already see him on the poster holding some sort of animal, a tiger cub, a monkey, just something crazy. Will Ferrell easily could steal the show in this movie. Obviously, you don't want to steal the show too much from Joe Exotic, but having him, and then of course we're going to get now to Carole Baskin. Who do you have playing her?
I said Helena Bonham Carter. So she plays obviously like a psycho in Harry Potter, but she's also kind of dignified, and I feel like that's how Carol is, and that's how she should be portrayed.
Okay, okay. I think I have the perfect person to play Carol. I can already see her riding her bike in between shots, starting off the trailer of this movie, and that's Melissa McCarthy. She's been in so many things. She is so funny. You know her from Tammy, The Heat. What else? Bridesmaid. She's been in so many things. She's been so great. I think she's one of the best female comedian actresses out there right now. Her as the role of Carol would just be too perfect. I just want it like tomorrow. Like I just want to see her in the movie tomorrow. Of course, now we've reached the big one. Joe Exotic right behind me right here. Who do you see him being portrayed as? Obviously, he can't play himself as much as he'd probably want to.
Right. So I have two choices actually. I couldn't settle on just one. My first one is Woody Harrelson, who you mentioned earlier. I feel like he's a good pick for really anybody because he can play a redneck really well.
Woody Harrelson is
Um,
in this movie regardless. I think he's going to be, even if he's like just a person that like just walks into the scene as someone
right.
going to the park, he just has to be in this movie.
He has to be. He's meant for it. And then secondly, I picked Johnny Depp because he can really play a weird, crazy character. I feel like he could do it for really like any role. He's very versatile, so I think he would really be able to portray Joe Exotic very well.
Now, I had Johnny Depp on my list too. We talked about it a little bit earlier, but I changed it. The first one I have is Sam Rockwell, who I think could be great in the role. He's a great actor. I think he's been in a ton of stuff. Most recently, Jojo Rabbit, where he played the main soldier that was leading Jojo's camp, and he was great. He was funny. He could definitely pull this off. But I think the person you need to have in this role who was just in the Sonic the Hedgehog movie playing Dr. Eggman, is Jim Carrey. Just think about it. Think about as you seeing a shot that you saw Joe Exotic with the robe coming off and the tigers all around him sitting on that throne. How can you not see Jim Carrey in that spot? How perfect would that be?
Oh, that's perfect. I think you should make this movie happen, Shane.
Honestly, maybe I'll just write the script. And then they'll pay me to give it to them, and maybe I'll be rich, or maybe I'll end up like Joe Exotic. Who knows?
Either way, you'll be famous, so it's okay.
Either way, that's right. And he finally got what he wanted. He's famous, even though he
Yeah.
can't enjoy it at this point. I think that's going to be it for us here today. I hope you enjoyed this video. We're doing more like these non-movie review type things, more discussion-based, talking about potential things for movies in the future. This is going to be coming out before some of my other movie reviews, so be sure to tune into those. We have Extraordinary, Vivarium, the main event, a lot of great stuff coming up. Also have the most anticipated movies of 2020 that we worked on recently coming out in the future. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps us out here, and it's much appreciated. As always, peace out.